Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. I'm with Oculus Rift Reviews. Today we're going to review and play Rooms, the Unsolvable Puzzle by Handmade Game. Rooms, the Unsolvable Puzzle is a VR game and desktop game on the Steam store for the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift. You could also play it on Windows and Mac desktop version. I did play some of this game in desktop just to compare and contrast with the VR experience, but my review is mostly focused on the VR and the desktop is only used to contrast the experience. I did enjoy Rooms, the Unsolvable Puzzle, but it's not for everyone. Honestly, I did not used to like puzzle games at all. Before VR, I never played puzzle games whatsoever, and I started with puzzle escape rooms, and that got me kind of interested, and so now I do play some puzzle games. Now this is a pure puzzle game. In other words, these are pure logic games, so if you're not into that, you're not going to like this game because it's a pure puzzle game. And VR here does bring nice visuals, but that's about it. Other than that, VR is not really used. You use your motion controllers basically as a point and click device. And so if you're thinking, okay, cool, I'm gonna get to move these rooms with my hands or with my motion controllers, you know, grabbing them and moving them with my hands like you normally use motion controllers. Sadly, that's not the case. They're just used as point and click. So this game really, I think, made a big mistake. It could have been so much better if motion controls had been properly implemented. That way that you're moving the rooms with your hands. I think that would have been so much better experience. And as far as moving the character, well, you know, that could have been used with just the joystick or the touchpad on the HTC Vive, but the other mechanics, moving the room, sliding the rooms, could have been grabbed with your motion controllers and slide it physically. Some of the devices could have been activated with your touch. So I think that was a big missed opportunity with this game. But the puzzles themselves are very good, so the actual gameplay, the puzzles, are very good. Don't be fooled by the cartoony graphics. These puzzles start off easy with simple concepts, and they slowly but surely get a lot more complicated as you go on. So you might find the first few puzzles easy, but as you keep going, several new concepts are introduced and other concepts are expanded upon. So they do become quite difficult. I found several of the puzzles to be very challenging. Usually I only found the first 3 or 4 puzzles easy, and then they started getting pretty difficult and I got stumped a few times. And in fact, there was one puzzle that I just couldn't solve, and I finally, after a long time, I don't know how long it was, maybe 30, maybe 45 minutes, I finally gave up and had to look online to find a solution because I was totally stuck on that puzzle. Some of them do have several steps involved in order to solve these puzzles. Some of the solutions are like 3 or 4 steps. Other solutions are like a lot more, 10, 12, 15 steps. So there is a lot of forward thinking and a lot of logic used in order to reach the solutions for these puzzles. So if you're a person that doesn't like that type of gameplay, this is not something that will appeal to you, and I don't recommend it for you. I really doubt this game will change anyone's mind about the puzzle genre if you don't already like it. For puzzle fans, however, this would be a strong recommend. I think you would like this game, despite the fact that VR is not integrated as good as it could have been. The puzzles themselves are excellent, and like I mentioned, they start off easy, new concepts are introduced, and then they slowly build upon each other until you're finally racking your brain trying to find a solution for these puzzles. And there's lots of content here. I think I'm at 7 hours, and I want to say maybe I'm 60% through the game, maybe 66%, somewhere around there. So there's a lot of content here, a lot of puzzles to solve. Unfortunately, like I mentioned, the point and click is kind of clunky, and I didn't like that. So on top of the fact that it's not VR is not well integrated, the point and click mechanic doesn't always work. Sometimes you'll be trying to get her to do one action and it'll do something completely different, which is very annoying when that happens, and that happened quite a bit. Just for comparison, I played this on desktop mode and using the keyboard and mouse, and I found the controls a lot better, and I never had any issues with the keyboard and mouse. But with the touch controllers, unfortunately with pointing and clicking, the action that I wanted taken didn't always take place, so that was a little frustrating. Like I mentioned, the visuals are excellent. You're in a 3D landscape, which looks nice, but the puzzles themselves look really good in VR, much better than the desktop version. The music is, I think, it's something that's an acquired taste. I personally didn't really like it all that much, but I think that's gonna vary by individual. I left the music on for this gameplay, but when I was playing and not recording, I turned it off for myself, just to help me concentrate. There's not a whole lot of options in this game. I think the sounds are the only thing you can change in VR. I know desktop mode has some different visual options, but those don't exist in VR. Again, I do recommend this game. I think puzzle fans will love this game, and for puzzle fans, I'd probably give this a 7 out of 10, even despite the VR not being implemented as good as it could have been. If you're not a puzzle fan, though, I'm not going to recommend this game for you. I'll honestly tell you, you're not going to like it. This game normally retails for $14.99. I got it on sale for about $7.49, and I think it's a good deal at that price, even if you're not a big puzzle fan. But you gotta like puzzles at least a little bit to enjoy this game, because if you don't like logic, puzzles, you're not gonna have a good time. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer.